What's up, guys? This is Sam from Swordstyleguitar, bringing to you a discussion today about gear in music, and actually the concept of materialism, consumerism, and falsely attaching emotion to objects that don't love us back. This topic came about because I was reading a book recently, which was about, more self-improvement, getting your life organized, cutting procrastination down, and getting your space and your time to be as effective as possible. Too often, as a musician, we'll get bogged down into feeling like a particular guitar or a particular amp or a particular pedal has so much, it's like, I got that from, my girlfriend, 2 years ago at Christmas. I could never get rid of it because it was so perfect. It was so wonderful. It meant so much to me. And, if that's you, that's cool. But I'm just speaking for myself. These objects, like a guitar, it's not going to love you back. The emotion that you have for the guitar or the pedal or the amp, it doesn't reciprocate. Take me, for instance. I'm going through some serious growing pains about this because my favorite guitar that I got about 6 years ago, maybe, I got it for a great deal. It was a Les Paul Classic. It sounded better than, most Les Pauls. It was like I tend to get kind of lucky, with my guitars, in that the ones that I buy are very, very good sounding, as opposed to one from the, that is not, like you could spend a lot of money on an online purchase and get kind of a crap guitar. It doesn't sound as good as, it looks on paper. So the point is that I got pretty lucky with that. And what happened was my cat actually knocked the stand, and the thing fell. If you know anything about Les Pauls, it hit the floor, the neck cracked off. And I went through literally a period of mourning for my guitar. I've been over, it happened about a month ago, so I've had some time, and I actually read this book, and I realize now that was completely ridiculous, not founded in reality whatsoever. Realistically, that guitar is a piece of wood. It doesn't have a feeling, it doesn't have a nervous system, it doesn't have feelings, and, whatever. The point is like, okay, so I have options. Like, I can either throw it away, take the loss. I could get it repaired, put me back some money. It may sound a little bit different, or I could repair it and then sell it at a loss. So, the point is that as musicians, you could get really caught up in the whole gear chase, and you could get caught up in stockpiling instruments and becoming less creative because of it. Like, you'll literally spend all of your time looking for new gear instead of making the most of what you have. And if you have gear, you will not get rid of it because you associate a particular emotional attachment, such as, that was my first guitar. That was, my dad bought that for me for my birthday when I was 12. And, maybe some things the point is you need to take a realistic assessment of what, contributes to your life and what holds it back. You're not going to have good feng shui in your apartment or, your pedal board if you continue to have such a mass amount of choices. There's only so much time you're going to be playing. And so if you have 10 guitars and 50 pedals, 5 amps, and you're like in one cover, you're in one top 40 band that plays once a month, in my opinion, unless gear is your hobby, you should probably take a assessment of that, because I think that you're caught in a materialism thing. You're addicted to the feeling of getting a new thing and, showing it off to your guitar buddies, and, hey, that's totally cool. I did it for a long time, and no judgment here. But ultimately, the thing is to become at least conscious of the fact that you are in a materialistic cycle. You know, you're getting caught up in the romance of purchasing a new instrument, hoping that there will be a bond with it, you know, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's the thing, is you're supposed to bond, you're supposed to have this, you know, ethereal, mystical thing with your instrument. And to a degree it's true, but it should come from you. You know, it shouldn't be coming from like, to me, a real example of that is like on a day that you, okay, say for instance, me, I'm kind of on the go a lot, so I'll only have a chance to bring so much gear with me. I have to take it on the train. So I'll bring, you know, one guitar and mostly one cable, and I plug into whatever they have, and I try and make it sound good. So to me, a great, how do you say, you know, gear moment would be I plug into something, you know, we're playing a new song, and it just so happens that, you know, like my tone and my sound, the vibe is just clicking, and people are like, wow. And I'm like, wow, if what I hear and what the audience hears is, you know, the same thing, it's good, then, you know, that's a gear epiphany. I'm like, yes, a new reference experience. I now understand that in that particular situation, you know, that setup will work well. You know, in my jazz band, I didn't think that a Strat would work well, but what I did was I boosted the mids, I took the treble up, I cut the bass a bit, I played mostly in the higher register because it was a big band, and when I took a solo, I toggled between the middle pickup and the bridge pickup, and it wound out coming out sick. You know, I took a really awesome solo, a few of them, and you know, it really cut through, my style worked well, and that was a gear epiphany. I did that with a $300 Squire Strat. You know, I was like, wow, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, you know, I guess the main purpose of the video is to think that, is to start becoming more conscious of your gear purchases and how much time you spend looking at gear. And I'm a gearhead myself. I love gear, but I do consciously try to not let it consume me or hold me back. Like right now, what I did was I realized I had about, I don't know, about 15 pieces of gear that have just been sitting there for a year. I haven't played them in a year. You know, I have a talk box, I have a couple of overdrive pedals I don't use. You know, there's some pieces that are even debatable. I have like a Line 6 M9, which is, you know, all these pedals are awesome, but I'm not using them, and I need money for rent. So, you know, it's a fine balance of things. So, you know, I've encouraged people in my earlier videos to do to write a journal, or, you know, maybe before you make a purchase, just at least mentally evaluate where is it going to fit. You know, what purpose will it fill in my you know, guitar playing existence? And if it doesn't have a tangible enough reason, the problem will autocorrect for you. You know, you probably won't purchase it. If you're like, well, there's no real there's no reason why I would want to do this. And if you just hold off a few days from buying it, your mind will probably autocorrect and be like, yeah, I don't know. You know, you'll go from that period of like, you know, addictive, like I gotta have it now, instant gratification type feeling, to something more based in reality. And that's the goal. You know, you want everything to work for you. You want your gear to work for you. You want it to pay for itself. And, you know, you want the experience of, you know, maybe owning the gear at some point in your career. But more importantly, you want it to work for you. So overall, just to recap, the topic of the video is that your gear doesn't love you back. It doesn't have a central nervous system, nor does it have a heart or a brain. It cannot love you back. So your feelings that you attach to it are unfortunately not based in reality, but it doesn't mean it doesn't feel real to you at the time. So I understand, and I'm not judging. I just, you know, throwing it out there again so that you can, you know, recognize that. Then, second topic is that, you know, be conscious of your purchases. Third thing is, you know, take a realistic inventory of what you have, and when you have gear that you haven't used in a long time, it may be time to get rid of it, because more than likely there are expenses in other areas of your life that need attention to. But that obviously walk the middle path, and this is just my experience. Other people will have different experience and need to find what's true for you. So that's about it for today. I'll probably make another video later on or tomorrow, and I will talk to you soon, guys. Have a good day.